Welcome back. Well, today we have on someone who's familiar with you, Diane Masson. She is the author of this book, Your Senior Housing Options. And nice to see you here today. Why don't you introduce a guest that you brought along, Sheila?
This is Sheila Christensen, and she's one of the residents at a continuing care retirement community and chose to plan ahead.
All right, very good. Now, as far as planning ahead, I know you've talked about that. That's kind of always been your main theme in reality and how important it is. And so seniors have lots of different choices. The key is planning ahead. Whether or not one choice is above another, you still got to plan ahead no matter what, right?
Right, and I think the key is that so many seniors, they just want to just stay in their home, not think about the future, and just live out their golden years. And the statistic they need to know is that 66% of us at some point are going to need assisted living or skilled nursing. Mm-hmm. So that means, you know, you're going to need some help at some point, and 20% of us are going to need it for more than 2 years.
Okay.
So the choice is either plan ahead, where you actually choose to put yourself in a more supportive environment that as you age, you know, your environment will support you, or you wait for a crisis, and if you're waiting for a crisis to happen, it ends up costing you more money, it becomes more stressful for you, your family members, and you end up becoming a burden to those, you know, that you love, your family members and your neighbors and things like that as somebody's declining. And they struggle, and it's really hard. And I don't like to see seniors struggle.
Right. I think one of the hardest things is, one, just thinking about planning ahead for many, many different things, even if it's people plan ahead for when they pass away. It's hard to think about in those terms. But for a lot of people, it may be a struggle to, you know, when you're talking about planning ahead, it's one thing having a plan. It's another thing having the ability to put funds away. That's, as you know, there's probably a lot of people in this community and beyond who are just on some sort of an assistance program, just on Social Security. Maybe prior to that, they never did plan ahead. So that's kind of a struggle for them as well, right?
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be.
Yeah. Now, Sheila, you've lived here in Laguna Woods for many years.
15 years. Loved it.
How many? When was that?
We just moved to our retirement community, new one, at the end of July.
Oh, okay.
So we've been there about 7 months.
So you're quite recent being here in Laguna Woods.
Yes. I still come over, still take classes from Saddleback.
Oh, very
I
good.
have friends up and down the beach cities and here, surrounding community, and I still keep up with everyone, still do the same life I had.
That's fantastic.
Yes, it is.
So when you started looking around, did you plan ahead? Was it over the last just couple of years, or how did you plan ahead, and how did you figure out what was going to be right for you? Is it for you and your husband?
My husband and I, Jim. When we came, and I'm 73 and he's 74.
Okay. So you're relatively young.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And
you are. Yeah, definitely.
we love this place and use the facilities, and we still could. But we had a variety of friends who were many different ages, and quite a few seemed to be older. I began to watch how they were handling the challenges and the complexity as they moved into older age and their health issues. I didn't like what I was seeing, and we began to talk about it. About 5 years ago, we started visiting communities and thinking about the future, going back to our original hometowns, all varieties. I love this area, and I like the people that I know, and the doctors, and the shopping, and everything. And we finally decided we would narrow it to communities here.
Here, meaning
yes, in this area. Look for a new retirement community that also added that bonus of health help on campus, and that's what we have.
And so you went, Diane, I understand you had a presentation, and you do these presentations quite often. Sometimes you do them here in this community, am I right? I thought you've been to different clubs at times here.
I hope to.
Okay, I thought for some reason you were part of it, but you did your presentation up at Freedom Village.
Yes.
And then, Sheila, you
I
made
know. We saw an
decision.
apartment, had lunch, saw an apartment, and listened to Diane. And I wanted to elbow my husband and say, she's talking about us. We looked at an apartment and thought, boy, we could live here. And told the marketing woman who was taking us around, I think this is it. And she said, well, you know, you want to go home and sit down and think about this and talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that night we looked at it from the point of view, why shouldn't we go now? Why shouldn't we make this move? This is what we are going to do. We've made that decision.
Mm-hmm.
This is a place that's great. We like what we hear, the reputation, the ratings. Why can't we do it now? And we decided to do it. And
Yeah.
we've been very satisfied.
And what were some of those deciding factors? Just the deciding factor,
Yeah.
really that's a two-part question. One is the decision to move on to a facility
Yes.
like that, a continuing care facility, and then the decision to pick out the place that you went. And one of the side things that I want to mention is that here, even in the village, a lot of people have the impression that there's assisted living here, even at the towers.
Yes.
And of course, you get your
Yes.
meals there or your
Yes.
dinners there, but there's not
Yeah.
assisted living here.
Yes. If you continue living, and many of our friends have, we have a lot of people here in Laguna Woods Village who are in high numbers, many people over 100. Health issues and concerns, and the idea that you could have assistance and health care right where you live.
Yeah.
The fact that we no longer wanted to cook, to maintain our place, to deal with a plumber.
Yeah.
You can get help here, and you can get names, and people are willing to drive you places if you're sick or if you have a broken leg or something. But it's going from situation to situation, and that's what we began to see. It isn't for everybody. Some people would never want to make this choice that we have, but we are very pleased that we made it. Very happy about it. Yeah.
And Diane, you do presentations up there quite often, right? Or when's the next one coming?
I do. The next one's actually tomorrow
Oh,
at Freedom
okay.
Village, and that one's sold out. But we do have some availability for the one on St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
So-
And we don't want to use the word sold out as that you have to pay to go.
No,
we should say
that's
it's
true.
filled up. It's filled up.
And all the seats are spoken for. That's
okay.
true. Yes.
But the next one is
It's-
St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay.
And our executive chef Hugo's making corned beef and cabbage, which he's making for all the residents, and he's going to make for the people that come and see the presentation as well. People can have an opportunity to have a little tour, take a look around. They can meet Sheila.
I
They can
wanna
see what's
throw that
going
in.
on.
The food is great.
Okay.
So,
Oh, yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah.
In fact, we had him on our show here once a long time ago. So obviously that's March 17th.
March 17th.
What day of the week is that? I don't know. I'll have to look at my
Thursday.
calendar.
A Thursday. It's
Okay.
a Thursday.
Thank
Yes.
you. But St. Patrick's Day obviously is March 17th. I like corned beef and cabbage. Maybe I'll come up there.
You're going to have to wear a green bow tie that day.
I will.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll wear something green.
sure. Be proactive. Come and take a tour yourself. Start thinking about the future.
Yeah, you really need to do that in one form or another. It's, as I was saying, that people seem to put that off, and I think for a variety of reasons, because you don't want to think about the days when maybe you don't have the same capacity you used to. But that's going to happen to everyone, let's
Yes.
face it, pretty much everyone. So you should think about things like that.
And I think it's just important that seniors educate themselves. Just
Yeah.
as Sheila and her
Exactly.
husband Jim
Available.
took 5 years, just take a look, come find out, come learn, and
Yeah.
see what the options are so that you're not waiting for a crisis.
Definitely. Your book you can get it on Amazon, am I right?
Yes.
Okay, and that's very easy. Just go to Amazon.com, or is there a Kindle edition?
There is.
There is. All right. I'm a digital book guy, so there you go. You can get a Kindle edition if you want. Nice to have you both on. A pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Oh, your website, tipstoseniors.com.
Yes.
And they can get the book through there, right?
Yes.
Just click on the link and do all that. So, hey, it's really nice to
Thank you.
meet you here.
Pleasure.
And I hope you and your husband have just a great future up there at Freedom
Yes.
Village. And maybe I'll see you again.
Okay.
All right, we appreciate it. Diane, always good to see you.
All right, great to
Diane
see
and
you
I
as
are going
well.
to meet up at Disneyland one day.
Okay.
All
We're
right.
big Disney
Wonderful.
fans. All right.
Pleasure.
You are too, aren't you?
No,
Oh, okay. All right, we got to get going. We'll be right back. I thought you...